Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. For today's video, I'm going to show you guys a bit of Vortex testing. I wanted to see, alright, my Frost team, what if we replace it with my Wild team? And what if we replace it with an Ice Blast team? But I was hesitant on the Ice Blast, but well, let's just say the testing was worth it. Alright, so this video I'm gonna go through and voice over as I show the gameplay recorded yesterday. I am, what am I, what the hell day is it? It is, let's see, it is day 6, so yesterday was day 5, and I couldn't believe how much progress we made in 5 days. I already had a mixture of epic and rare gear. I did my big summons, so I had even more legendary artifacts. Again, this is not a guide. This is a showcase. This is testing. This is me pushing my account to whatever it can possibly do right now to test out and see, can Ice Blast really hang? And it's really surprising. So I end up doing my final Ice Blast run, and then I decided to change it. So make sure you actually watch to the end and see the very last run. And that's where the surprise was. And that's going to be my Vortex team going forward. Well, at least once I can get everybody built, if I can. I still have to make sure I can farm all this stuff, so we'll see if I build Frost or Ice Blast first. Probably Frost first, because it's more versatile with the AoE. But this was a really fun test yesterday, and again, shout out to Odd1 for some fun suggestions along the way, which I do mention in this video. But yeah, let me roll that footage. So my first test was Ogok. I'm going to show all the gear. Actually, all of the tests have Ogok. And Furboth as the core for the support. So that's kind of my base point. And this was day 5 of gameplay, so we only have a mixture of epic and rare gear is all I could obtain. I was able to pull some good dupes and get some amazing artifacts. So again, showing the gear here, simply put, trying to get enough accuracy, but honestly, like most of them have like 85 accuracy, not 100. Or so, but he has the horn to boost the allies. Losenia is in with Witch's Remains, so she has a little bit of accuracy there. She's at 81 accuracy. She does have all her skills, by the way. So all of this whole team has full skills. So here is her gear. Mixture of accuracy and damage, along with, yeah, attack, a little bit crit, whatever I could. And then Oster is in full damage with no care of accuracy. Hoping the Losenia will cover placing it. So he has that lovely, lovely Frost Ring. And then I'll show the rest. So just attack, crit rate where I could, crit damage when I could as well. But yeah, not the craziest crit rate. Nothing is perfect. This was only day 5 of season 2, so it is what it is. And then I do have Drist in the goblet there, with one epic set, and then unfortunately still a rare set on him. Just trying to get damage out of him as well, with also no care of accuracy, just smash. So we're kind of relying on Losenia to keep up the Frost debuff for maximizing damage, but it actually ended up being okay. She's kind of a beast, and she's in Witch's Remains, so she'll be going before they go for ultimates anyway. So we are doing stage 2 only. This is again day 5, doing stage 2 of Vortex. And we're going to save what equipment we just put on them and check out our plan. So I do have that saved as my Vortex team. We're going to rename it to our Vortex Frost. And we'll click the skill timings here and check out what we got. So we have this time for Ogok to go before the big smash, Furboth before that, and then Losenia going before the other DPS because she has Witch's Remains. I did not keep Oster on a timer just because he has his ultimate that can be affected anyway, so I left it off the 20-second rotation, so it could just go when it's ready. He's going to get a little out of sync, but yeah. Here is going to be the first minute of the battle. You're going to see this fall together very nicely. So Furboth just went, and now Ogok is going to go boom right there. he puts up that immortality, which is amazing. Then he cleanses if there was anything to cleanse, and then he heals right afterwards. So it's a really interesting mix. Ideally, Ogok would probably go before the second hit. Once we get into, we would swap it. Like Ogok would go at 14.5. Once I get later into Vortex 4 when we have defense penalty debuffs, but for now we don't have that. So we didn't need to have that set. But yeah, Losenia going before Oster and Drist does keep the frost up pretty well. Like, I really don't see it falling off. It's always there. So this rotation worked out pretty well. So we're going to skip ahead. Right after this, that's the first minute of the battle. You can kind of see how things fall together. And now, boom, this is the end of the battle when things start to fall apart. 15 minutes to go, 15, and then Furboth, all right, Furboth down at 15:07 to go as far as the max time. Unfortunately, I mean, that's what should happen. Your tank should die first, and then the rest of your people start dying if you have everyone well balanced. So it's logical, but we definitely need to figure out a way to make Furboth survive longer, but for sake of this test, I'm going to keep it all the same for the rest of the battles. But you're going to see Ogok's amazing timing is going to help keep everyone alive a lot longer than they should be. But of course, Drist took the second big hit for the most HP, so he was the second to die. But boom, immortality keeps us alive a little bit longer to pump out a little bit more damage. It's just so fun to see that. And now someone, boom, is going to take the hit, and that was Ogok. So it's obviously goes, that big hit, the single target, is based on who has the most HP. And of course, Guinevere, our lovely panther, is always the last to die. And she's trying, but you know what? She can only do so much. And our Frost team, little baby Frost team, we did almost 4 million, which is actually that cap right there. Not so bad for medium gear, right? All right. And Drist and Oster, pretty even. Now, let's go ahead and reset them. And we're going to do our next team. We're going to go into our wild team now. Like, is Flora still the queen? So I built Erich, and I'll click his gear so you can see what he's wearing. He's wearing the eyeball plus damage gear. No care for accuracy, none needed. I don't have Witch's Remains on him. We have it on Tunnelnon. So Erich is just going to be a DPS. We've got decent stats on him, and he is fully booked. Flora is our queen bee. We have her with the ink vial. And whatever enlightenment I can get on her, which isn't much because I don't have any enlightenment chests, but we tried. We have over 100 at least. We're trying. She's fully booked, of course, too. When we have Tunnelnon is going to be our Witch's Remains candidate. She's so good at keeping it up, but there you can see the stats for Flora. All right, yeah, here's Tunnelnon, Witch's Remains, and whatever damage we could possibly get out of this for Tunnelnon. She's a beast. She's going to do really well regardless. But yeah, we still have a mixture of rare gear and with epic at this point, just like the other builds, but trying to be very similar, but based on what they need. So there is our 3 heroes and the stats if you want to pause on any of those screens. But now we're going to go in and challenge. So next up, we're just going to have to swap out our Frosty team for our Fiery Wild team. Bye-bye, people. Hello. Hello, ladies, and Erich. Erich is going in, Tunnelnon's going in, we're good to go. But now we need to make another preset and change our aura. We have the 30% attack aura from Flora, which is amazing. But let's go ahead and save our new team. This is our Vortex Wild test, so let's see what this does. We gotta edit the skill timings, of course. Again, Furboth is going to go before the second to last hit to place the attack penalty. Ogok is going to go right before the ultimate to save us from the biggest smash for now. Well, again, we'll swap those later on in the season. I think 19 or 19.5 is good for him, and everyone at 20 to stay in rotation. Flora has to go first because her ultimate relies on other people proccing wild. And then Tunnelnon after her, and Erich after them. So we just need to make sure that Tunnelnon has enough time to place defense penalty with her multiple hits after going after Flora, then Erich after her. So we just kind of spaced them out a little bit to make sure there's enough time for them to land their stuff. So I did do a full second in between each one just to be safe. And then, yeah, the others are the same as before pretty much. So that is good to go. And we're going in for our first minute of battle. So yeah, same thing. You're gonna see... Let's see, waiting for Flora. Flora needs to use her ultimate first because she has that amazing nexus that, like, the more you proc wilds, for every proc of wild, I should say, over a certain period of time, there is derivative damage dealt, which is why she's in the ink vial. And then, of course, Tunnel On went after her to place the defense penalty debuff before RH, our other DPS, went. So we try. Ideally, you'd want the defense penalty to go first, but with Flora, that's not the case, just because her ultimate is like the key. Everything about this run is enabling Flora. So boom, seeing all that land, and then again, Ogok is going to come in clutch to pop the invincibility or immortality before we get smacked. So it really does save the run. So same rotation here. Again, Flora into Tunnelon into Erich. So we're going to do just like the other battle. I'm going to play that. This is the first 1 minute of the battle. And then we're going to roll into our ending when things start to fall apart. So here, 14 and change to go. 1450 to go, and boom, there's Furbot's last hit. As we go ahead and start our extra damage. But just like before, we're going to have Ogok keeping everyone alive a little bit longer than we should, right? And then someone's going to be dying on the smashes. Can't really keep everyone alive then, but there's the smash, swipe, swipe. This is the big hit. Boom. Someone's going to die. That's going to be Tanonon. And then, of course, because they have the HP from the Witch's Remains. But Ogok sure tries to hang in there a little bit longer. Ogok doesn't want to die because Ogok is Ogok. And they're the last to survive thanks to their wonderful timing of their ultimate before the big hits. But yeah, much bigger performance from 3.99 to 5.5. I kind of thought this was going to be it. I was like, oh gosh, am I just going to go back to Flora? Because, I mean, you see, everything about here is just enabling Flora. So she's still solid. But I gave in. I had to do my Ice Blast. I almost didn't do it. I actually kind of paused. But we ended up putting Harpy's Nail on Zorak because he has damage with his passive. And this is his build. Otherwise, we tried to go for some Enlightenment and attack, of course. He's more the enabler, less the damage dealer, but he actually impressed me. Sheena is going to be the one to have Witch's Remains because she does lots of hits on her ultimate. So that's really perfect for Witch's Remains. She's also a great enabler, but she'll do decent damage as well. And then we have our real DPS, the better version. Shout out to Odd One Gaming, my husband, of course. Well, he actually tested all the epics. So make sure you check out his video. Here we have our DPS build with damage for the battle skill for Girthin. Girthin was much better with performance testing than Bledin. And that's a little bit of a spoiler alert, but if you want to see him testing all the heroes and showcasing his team, he's posted a video for his Vortex on his channel. If it's not there already when I post this, it will be soon. So it should already be there. If it is, I'll get the link for it and put it in the description. But shout to Odd One for saving me from booking Bledin instead of Girthin. She really, really surprised me. And yeah, I'm really excited to play with her. So we did change her build just briefly. So there is her ending. And yeah, let's go into our new Ice Blast team and see how we do. By the way, quickly wanted to show that I did skill up the legendaries and the epic because I decided I was going to go all in. I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. We're trying it. Why not? Let's roll. I'm committing if I'm going to test this and I'm going to use them. I really wanted to because honestly, they're just a really, really fun team. And I wanted to play with Ice Blast because perfect against single targets. And honestly, I already wanted to build Frost anyway for my main carries. So if I'm going to go down the Psychic Core, I would love to have Ice Blast be my main Vortex team so I don't have multiple affinities to worry about. But the unfortunate part here is that we only have the Resistance Aura. We actually didn't have another aura that we could use here. So that was a big bummer for this team in particular. But we're going to change something later, so just hold on for that. But yeah, no resistant or no other auras except for... Alright, yeah, the resistance, sorry. But yeah, here is our setup. We named it for our Ice Blast team. We're going to do the same thing for Ogak and Furboth. And then this time, Sheena is going to be our main DPS, and we're going to time everybody out. Girthin can go a lot more often, so this is something I have to test in the future. But yeah, I actually did decide to make Girthin time out with everybody to take advantage of the damage. It was a big debate if I wanted to slow her down that much, but we did. We decided to do that. So Witch's Remains first, and then him afterwards, Zorak, because he has the big boost for ally damage before Girthin goes. And oops, I actually realized I was wrong. Oh my goodness. This run was Girthin not at 20 seconds, so I actually kind of failed with the timing. That's really funny. But I do have to test this. I meant to put her at 20 seconds. That was a fail I didn't even notice at the time, and I don't think I fixed it when I do my better run later. But I didn't even notice that that was off. But yeah, I also have to, I have to test to see if I just let Girthin go more often, because she actually hits low more frequently. Is it worth it? Or is it more important to make sure we're using her big smashes when our defense penalty is up from Witch's Remains? So that is just something we're going to need to test in the future. But yeah, this team's the same for our supports, but we have Sheena into Zorak into Girthin. That is kind of this rotation. I really wish I had noticed I messed up the timings, because I don't remember if I fixed them later. I don't think I do. Wow, that's really funny. Go figure, I noticed in my recording a day later. But hey, at least I'm noticing that now before I ran my Vortex for today, which is, as of me recording this and posting this, this is actually the day 6. I haven't done all my adjustments yet. Alright, so there's that first minute of battle. Looks pretty good. Girthin is being a beast. And Zorak and Sheena are actually both doing really well. I really think the Harpy's Nail is great for Zorak to get more damage out of him than we expect, because he was kind of the one that was like the lesser damage dealer, especially with no damage on his ultimate. But alright, here we are. What time are we at? Again, 15, 20 something left. And Furboth is dying first, as he did before. But we're going to keep pumping out some extra damage for a few rounds longer, just like before as well, because of Ogak and his wonderful passive. So boom, Girthin was the next biggest HP. She was next to go. We'll get a couple more hits in here. Smash, smash. And Ogak will save us again. One more time for Ogak, go. All right, boom. Pumping out some more damage and smash, smash. Then someone will take the hit, and now it's Ogak, as they showed. They highlight before it happens. But our last little legendaries there are trying to hang on and get out a tiny bit more damage before the end of the battle, but that was all she wrote. Well, 4.8. Really good. A lot better than my Frost. Not quite as much as the Wild, but you know what? Worthy to push. I wouldn't mind a mil difference for the sake of convenience and not worrying about playing the Wild team again. I found that kind of boring. But you know what? I felt like there was room for improvement, so we didn't just leave it at that. I decided to build Garius instead of Furboth to see if he could survive longer and make sure he's taking the hit longer and letting the whole team stay alive. So Garius is here in the gear with Gatekeeper, Staff. I set up the timers here. Did I fix? Oh, I did fix Girthin for this battle. Okay, good. My big run that did the best damage, I did fix Girthin's timer. So I did not put any timer on Garius. We're just gonna let him go. But I decided his HP looked really low, so I actually put the hourglass on him so that way he could just go as much as possible with both of his skills, which is amazing because, you know, he's healing a lot. And he needed to stay alive. I was really worried about his super low HP. He wouldn't have been the one taking the hit, which is what happened. Girthin was, or I think was the one taking the hit instead of Garius because his HP was so low. So I ended up deciding to put the horn on Ogak. This was a good suggestion from Oddone when I was sitting here complaining about what should I do. It's like, just put it on Ogak. And I was like, oh god, okay, fine. So that's what we did. We put the horn on Ogak. Now we have a defense aura, which also is going to help keep the team alive better. We only had the resistance aura before for the last run. So now with Garius and Gatekeeper Staff, and Ogak with the horn still, so someone has it, And with a defense aura, I think we were setting ourselves up much, much better for success. So here we run, we go and we going. Really good rotation now, so same Ogak is going to go, boom. And for the sake of our damage dealers, wait for it, we're gonna have Sheena. We'll go with her blast, and she puts up the defense penalty. Then Zorak will boost our damage, and then Girthin goes after. And she's kind of our budget Beldelle. She's a really, really big hitter, but especially being the epic. And yeah, let's just say Bledden wasn't quite hitting that hard. It was decent, but she actually has the 20% bonus crit rate as well with the buff she gives herself. And she also adds extra crit damage to her kit, which Bledden doesn't do. So they have a very similar kit, but she actually does more damage. So here we go. We're going to do that first minute of gameplay just like before. And now we're cutting to the end when things start to fall apart. We got a lot further. We got like a whole minute longer of gameplay before we failed. And look at that damage. 5.7? What is happening? 5.8? More than my wild team, guys. More than Flora. So Girthin, as the main DPS, did better than my Flora. But that was with Garius as the new lead, so it could have been different there too. But I still think that's solid and worth continuing with. So this is going to be my Vortex team. We did 5.8 million on level 2 on only day 4 of gameplay. Or was it day 5? Oh my god, my brain hurts. I don't even know anymore, whatever I said before. But there we have it.